Coffee.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. I come from an old-fashioned industry that is still stuck in the Middle Ages. We still go to work with a hammer and nails, and to come here this morning and hear about all this forward technology is actually quite invigorating. So I did indeed divert from my profession for a while and joined the Cleveland Browns as their chief administrative officer, and I can only say that for those of you who followed the team from '98 to 2004, I had nothing to do with the success of the field. We raked in some money on the revenue side, but we did very badly on the field. But anyway, I really welcome the opportunity to share with you some of the things we're doing in San Francisco, but I'm really excited about our collaboration with Bosch. So in San Francisco, we actually currently have government approvals for, as you can see on the screen here, almost 20,000 homes in the city, primarily in two projects. One is the Treasure Island project, and one is the Hunters Point Shipyard and Candlestick project, about 5 million square feet of commercial, almost 720 hotel rooms, and just over about 1.25 million or so square feet of regional retail and neighborhood retail. And perhaps what's really, I think, impressive about these master plans is between the two projects, we're actually adding about 650 acres of open space in the city. Now, to put that all in context, we're talking about a city that, as some of you may know, is about 49 square miles and about 850,000 people. And you can see around where it says 20,000 homes, that's roughly about where Treasure Island is, and roughly where it says 1.25 million, that's roughly where the San Francisco shipyard is. So we have a collaboration with Bosch that, as I say, is very, very exciting. It provides an opportunity for an old line business like the construction industry, real estate. We build homes. Several homes become communities. Those communities create an environment. And we just go about our business doing that. And now with our collaboration with Bosch, we get the benefit of Bosch's know-how and technology to actually create better, safer, and healthier communities. And that's really exciting. And this is, frankly, how this works. But I think one of the key pieces of this collaboration, and I think really one of the central pieces to it, is we have in our office, in my office, we have a Bosch person who lives and breathes the product with us. Pierre's doing a tremendous job sitting through our perhaps somewhat boring meetings, and what he's there to do is to listen for what we're doing, how we're doing it, and then he typically says, there may be some technology that we have that can assist you in this. And that's really key, because often in my industry, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know, we just go about our business, and Pierre has this wonderful opportunity to bring all the wisdom and know-how from Bosch into those meetings, and we're immediately beginning to adapt and change in accordance with some of the products we're going to talk about today. So these are the four places and spaces that we're actually beginning to augment and implement within the shipyard. We have security solutions that I'll talk about briefly. Certainly are looking at enhancing mobility throughout these communities. And obviously, energy is a key part of a large master plan community. And then the ability to create access and link the customer, the end user, through an app. And Bosch has already worked on that app with us. So I'm going to focus primarily on the San Francisco shipyard and Candlestick Point, because I think it creates a really interesting opportunity to see how a collaboration with Bosch really can yield some wonderful results. So first, you've got to understand what we're doing. San Francisco shipyard in and of itself is about 12,000 homes, 5 million square feet of office space, just around 1 million square feet of retail, 350,000 square feet of open space. And you can see it's a large number of community facility space. The shipyard was a private shipyard in the 1800s and was essentially taken over by the military, decommissioned in 1974. And with that decommissioning, the city of San Francisco, and certainly that immediate area, lost about 30,000 jobs. And that area has been in some economic decline since then. In 1999, Lennar Urban won the right to develop the shipyard. In 2005, we began the infrastructure for the shipyard. In 2015, I'm happy to say, the first families started moving in. And right now, almost every week, we get about 2 families moving in into the San Francisco shipyard. So we're beginning to change that neighborhood around. But I'd like you to get a quick sort of fly through the development in this short video that we use to orient people to the shipyard. Many of you have probably been to San Francisco, and as you see, well, the Golden Gate Bridge, much of the development in the city for many years was centered in the financial center. But there's a change happening in San Francisco. It's a huge job generator, as you know. And much of the shift in development and real estate is coming towards the southeast part of town. That's AT&T Park you see there, and there's the future home of the Golden State Warriors, the championship Golden State Warriors, I might add. And as we are flying past the Golden State Warriors home and down past Mission Bay, which is a huge innovation district, at the end of it is the San Francisco shipyard. And the San Francisco shipyard is where we are currently collaborating with Bosch to create this brand new urban community in the city and county of San Francisco. It's a place that people will live, a place that people will work, a place people will create, and we obviously believe that they will also entertain there. And that's the notion and the principle and the foundation behind the San Francisco shipyard. This is a view of where we're currently building, the hilltop. And I'll get into a little more detail in some of these. This gives you a sense of how the streets are coming up. Our big challenge, obviously, when you're in a fabulous city like San Francisco and you have the privilege of extending the city, is to try to create new neighborhoods that frankly fit in. And that's what we're trying to do. This is a sense of what we're building. Over the next few years, we'll begin to build several of these products. As I said, not only is it for homes, we're also building offices and creative workspace, maker space. We're rebuilding the artist community out there. Yeah. And across the way there is the Candlestick Point area. Right across, there are adjacent communities. They'll be uniquely different. The shipyard will be primarily the residential portion with some office, and the other side, Candlestick, will be residential with the retail and entertainment products. We find this video quite useful because not everybody has the ability to just go to the shipyard and understand that it was just a decommissioned shipyard. It was 500 acres, and for many years it was just vacant and primarily abandoned. And this is very helpful to the city government as they see how we're beginning to turn things around. And this gives you a full shot of the shipyard and its relative proximity to downtown. So now you're oriented. So I would like to say that 15 years from now, this is what we'll have built. This is where we'll have, to the right, is the San Francisco shipyard, and to the left is Candlestick Point. Let's focus on the shipyard for a minute. So the San Francisco shipyard will have about 5,000 homes, and as you can see in the images over there, plenty of open space, but the 5,000 homes will also have a significant amount of office space. And we believe that collision of open space, homes, and parks, etc., really create an opportunity to create a real innovation district. And the important thing about this development is because we're building all the infrastructure from scratch, we're actually providing all the fiber optics into this site. And we're able to provide inexpensive, ultra-fast fiber optic fiber into this development. In fact, our current residents are getting 1 gigabyte per second as they move in. And that enables us to work collaboratively with Bosch to introduce all kinds of technological products. This is the hilltop. The hilltop will probably be completed in about 5 years or so, and it's about 1,000 homes. And again, this gives you a sense of the proximity to the rest of San Francisco. Now, hope you noticed, we believe that the Bosch appliances are very superior in most aspects, and if not all aspects. But we have the ability, working with Bosch collaboratively, to introduce and integrate the Bosch products into the homes as we're designing them, and we're beginning to find those particular spots that make the most sense. And obviously, that's why having this collaboration makes my life so much easier, because we have somebody on Bosch who knows exactly the right products at the right time for the right location. Key aspect of the collaboration is we're currently working with Bosch on introducing security cameras. We're placing the security cameras on some of the rooftops, and because of the Bosch hardware and software platform, we're getting a much better sense of how we can utilize how security becomes a service that is not only enhances the safety of the community, but actually is something that the police station and our local security service can rely on, and it's reducing our bill, or we hope it will reduce our bill, with respect to the security of this community. I can tell you that as we introduce this concept to the prospective homeowners, they are quite excited. So I mentioned that we are also building about 5 million square feet of commercial space. We begin this year laying the infrastructure for the first 1 million square feet or so. And it's actually a very interesting mix of uses. We have a wonderful partnership with the San Francisco State University, who in turn has partnered with the San Francisco Unified School District, and they're creating a STEM campus in this first 1 million square feet. And we're also bringing in creative office space and maker space into this initial development. Here are some of the architectural sketches around how this innovation alley, as we call it, will work. And obviously, we're working in our collaboration. We fully expect to be able to secure some really great ideas to ensure that the technology that's introduced over our fiber enhances our opportunity not only to attract business, but also to make this place a place that will create innovation and certainly foment innovation, I guess is the best way to put it. I mentioned Innovation Alley. This is the first, within the next 3-4 years, we believe this will be totally built. We'll have a ferry coming in right to the dock. There will be a number of innovative spaces that are actually civic spaces that enable anybody and everybody from the area to come in and work. And adjacent to that will be, of course, the educational spaces I said, and the creative office space. Then across to Candlestick Point, as I said earlier, a little more urban, taller buildings, etc. And just for many of you may know this, but Candlestick Point was the home of the San Francisco 49ers for many, many years. And last year, my team demolished that stadium. We demolished that stadium, and this sort of gives you the titles of how and what we're bringing to the Candlestick Point area. This is an image that shows that the centerpiece of the Candlestick Point Retail Entertainment District will be a film and arts center, and that will house the San Francisco Film Arts Commission. But we're working in collaboration with Bosch to do bring two key elements here. The first is, in order for this 700,000 square foot commercial space to work, it has to have a significant amount of parking. We suffer today by using the same rules that have governed parking codes for many, many years. So in order to get a retail district in, you have to build parking. You have to build parking at a fairly large amount. But by working with Bosch, we're already beginning to think through the design of that parking structure to introduce Bosch sensors into the parking so that we can create a more efficient, more effective, and frankly, a more climate-friendly solution to the parking for the shopping district. People won't have to drive around looking for a parking space because they'll be able to identify their parking space way before they even get here. We're also working with Bosch to introduce a DC microgrid into this parking structure. So the DC microgrid will actually power the parking structure. But most importantly, I think not only is it going to power the parking structure, it will also, for the first time, provide a level of data that really becomes very useful to us as the parking operators and how the energy is being used and consumed in that parking structure. And that data and those analytics will enable us to obviously design for a better facilities and maintenance of that parking structure. We already have the prototype of this community app working. There are people in the first 100 families are all getting the link to download an app. And that app currently gives them information on where the community shuttle that drives them downtown is located at any time. So when they leave their home, they know exactly where the shuttle is, and they don't have to waste time standing at a bus stop. We also, the community app that essentially was designed by the Bosch innovation team enables the new community members to understand exactly what is in and around them, not just in our community, but also in the broader community. What retail is available, what kind of community programs are available, and they can seamlessly just get into the other websites and actually identify certain stores in the community should they wish to partake in some retail. The app also has a seamless access to the community website and also to the blog, so they can interact fairly freely with their neighbors. Again, bringing the community a little tighter. This is the centerpiece of what we're doing, because as we grow the various technology products, we expect to introduce more things into this community app. You know, look, as I said, as I see the time coming down, we have an incredible opportunity in San Francisco to just really enhance and expand the city to the southeastern part of the town. And as we're doing it, we're trying to be really smart about how and what we're building for the future. But we only know what we know. We understand the real estate community. We understand our marketplace. What we don't know is where technology is going. And by this collaboration with Bosch, we're able to almost get an insight into where technology is going and where it could go, and we're able to influence our decisions. Because one of the things, and one of the key things that certainly impressed me about the opportunity to work with Bosch was, and it was stated here this morning many times, Bosch is focused on the end user. Focused on the end user. Bosch is focused on data privacy and security. We also, our company is focused on the end user. We provide homes that we think are unparalleled in the United States, and we want to make sure our customers, when they buy a Lennar home, believe that they have bought something that's just not just a home per se, but they're buying into a community. And with Bosch collaborating with us, we're able to provide, as I said earlier, better, safer, more secure, and more connected communities. And I just look forward to see for the next 5 years what this collaboration may actually bring about. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Kofi.
Thank you very much.
Questions from the audience? So, I have one question, Kofi.
Right.
You have mentioned several systems, smart home, smart parking, energy. All these systems are connected. And we see, because of this connectivity, that the industry business model is changing. A lot of industry are now focusing on selling services instead of the product itself. Do you see any change for the construction industry?
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. One of the key pieces of the app is that as people purchase their home, on this app, they get all the appliance warranty information. And on that, obviously, in the warranty information, it tells folks when to change certain things, when to change filters and things like that. What we find in our industry is typically when somebody buys a home, you give them a bunch of binders on every appliance they have, and they go put it in a drawer, and they close it, and they do nothing. And typically something goes wrong, and they call us, and then we ask them, well, did you change the filter? We couldn't find the book. Well, now they're getting the app. It's right there. And as we continue to work with Bosch, we believe that we might be able to send push signals to them so that they will remember to change the filter. But the point here is, Gabrielle, because we're now able to get this kind of data, it changes the way perhaps we interact with our end user, and frankly, it may actually save us a significant amount of money in warranty and maintenance issues, because we're getting the information in a timely fashion, and we're able to deal with it and to respond, hopefully in a timely fashion, or frankly, or ask the homeowner or resident to respond in a timely fashion. And I don't know quite where that is going, but I sense that our ability to understand our homes, understand the way our end user is using the spaces, can only affect our business in ways that are positive.
Second question, Kofi. The smart city topic is, in a lot of cases, also correlated with the question, what is the business model behind it? The cities are no money anymore. The citizens are not necessarily happy to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So how do you solve this equation in this example you have shown?
Well, it's a very complicated financing model, obviously. We're dealing with 800 homes, 800 acres. But what we typically do is we obviously infuse a significant amount of private equity. But in communities like this, we form public-private partnerships with the cities or the governmental entities. And that public-private partnership typically requires the city to provide a certain amount of infrastructure funds through tax rebates, let's say, for want of a better term, and tax increment financing back to us. And that's certainly one of the key pieces one of the key ways of financing. Of course, in addition to once you create the pad, you sell land and you sell homes. That revenue also comes back to fill the gaps. But with the collaboration, I truly believe that there may be opportunities through the data collection, et cetera, to find new revenue models that could actually enhance our ability to finance developments like this.
Good. Thank you, Kofi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.